And we're live. I guess I'm going to do the same thing Matt does, but mine's not as high pitched.
Exciting. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So there's three of us today. I'm the moderator, which I'm pretty much that anyways most of the time. But today it's Matt. No, Matt's not here. I'm not drinking yet. Me, Casey, and George. James is out. He's doing moving. So we're going to just talk about bourbon since three of us like bourbon. So that's what we're going to talk about. And I'm sure there's going to be some discussions. So first of all, what are you guys wearing? We'll start with the normal stuff as watches.
I'm always the boring one. Still wearing it from last week. Still got the Willard on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Easy.
It's an automatic. It's
no, go ahead. I'm trying to fix my light here.
I think I shared with you guys the first podcast you had me
on. That's a cool
watch. It has like
that's pretty
some
neat.
I don't know, different colors in there. And sometimes if I'm wearing like a polo to work that matches those colors, I'll grab this shirt. So that happened today.
Oh, neat.
Yes. I like it.
So I have been having issues with my watches. So I don't have a lot of quartz watches, but I've been trying to. I'm getting tired of wearing the same automatic stuff because they're pretty nice, and I've been doing a lot of working around cars and stuff. So let me pull out this battery's dead. Oh, battery's dead. Oh, battery's dead. And someone I was trying to wear a Breitling Explorer, and the battery's dead. So today I am wearing my Shark.
I love it.
Let's see if I get. There you go. It's just it's a Shark freestyle. So since you live in Ohio, you probably wouldn't know this brand, George. This is like a surf watch. So when I was a kid, if you surfed or skateboard, you did a lot of surfing. We wore these watches because you could. Let's see if it does it. You can't really tell on camera, but you push the button and it's blue, like really, really blue. Indigo. They're waterproof. I mean, you can beat the crap out of these watches. And this is actually a vintage one. I found this one off of somebody who's going out of business on eBay, and I just had to change the battery. Still had the little display and stuff on it. So they're little cheap watches, like $100 and stuff. They sell them at the surf shop still. So I like it. It's comfortable. It already comes with a NATO band. Doesn't stink yet. So normally when I was a kid, I remember like, oh, this stinks.
The salt and the sweat all combined.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. And like, especially surfing, nostalgic. Like your band started to smell like, I don't know, squid. It just started to stink. You had to take a toothbrush and clean it all up. So I got it because it reminded me of, I don't know.
I opened a new bottle of Old Forester 1920
when I had no responsibilities.
I'm a big fan of this.
What are you guys drinking today?
So I always have this in my bar. So whenever I finish a bottle, I stock up. Normally have a couple on hand because I enjoy it. It's available, right? So it's not like you have to stock up on it, but I don't know. I enjoy it, so I always have it on hand. 115. Oh, it's delicious. I do, but not as good as a 1920. 1920 is my favorite. I'm sure there's other Old Foresters that I may like more, but
so
like if I were to try that,
do you like the Statesman?
I haven't had any. Maybe their special stuff, but this is my favorite of the stuff that's always on the shelf. Even the 1910, I like this better. The 1870, I like this better.
Like you, Casey, didn't I get you a 1924?
Correct. Yes.
Okay, that one is.
Yeah,
I like that. It's really good.
It is fantastic, and that's George. I haven't had a lot of their special bottles either. I would say none of them, I guess. But I have a 1924. I have the 2025 version. I tried the 2024 the first time I saw it, and that's where I fell in love with it. And I was like, God, I gotta find a bottle of this. 2025 is a little different in my opinion, but it's still fantastic. And then I have probably 5 or 6 of their single barrel picks, which are all barrel proof, and those vary as they do. But in Old Forester, at least in the foolproof stuff, I get a lot of banana, which is kind of weird. But I don't get that really in the 1920. I think they really profile that pretty well. But in their barrel proof stuff, I get a lot of banana.
I don't understand what that is. Like, is it same mash bill as 1920, or like what's different?
February, so
is it just aged?
Probably right now, if you can find it.
Yeah, let's go into that in details.
That's when
you don't mind. Because I've heard about this, right? But I just don't remember.
Let me grab it, and I can. Let's see. Let's pull it up.
Yeah. So that I would say is probably in birthday, right? Those two are the two. I mean, there's some other ones, but those two are really sought after. I'm not a big fan of the Old Forester birthday. It's just a lot of hype, in my opinion. That's pretty much an unattainable bottle, but the 1924 is pretty hard to get to. I love it. We have a bar locally here that does barrel picks of 1924. They always have it. And I mean, they sell it for $15, a 2-ounce pour. So whenever I get up there, I'll drink that. I think Matt that's the one that I gave Matt we went to a Porsche event at the Florida Cracker Kitchen. And I was drinking that and I gave him, I was like, man, you want to taste something phenomenal? This is like the best. And he's like, oh, okay. And I gave him a pour and he was like, I gave him a sip because I know he wasn't going to drink the whole thing. Same face. Still turpentine. I'm like, you don't know what you're missing, buddy.
All right. So here's some details pulled from the interwebs. 1920 Old Foe. Mash bill 72-18-10. And that is proofed at what? What's yours proofed at? This is 115. All right. And it's non-age stated, correct? No stated age on your bottle. All right. So then we have the 1924, which is a 79-11-10. So it's going to be a little sweeter. It's 100 proof, age stated 10 years.
So I think that's the difference. Is the age state. It's the age, and it really makes it so much smoother. I mean, you can taste all the notes. It's just a phenomenal. Right. Like if you ever get to that's probably my second favorite or third favorite, but it's just I can probably get Weller easier than I could get the 1924. So in fact, I just had a bottle of 10-year that I just got, but I didn't crack that open. So
yeah, that's for me. I think that's if that's one I see, which I've never seen it in the wild. Obviously, I had to get Florida Kevin to send it up to me, but that's one that I would jump on.
I think I got mine in Kentucky. Actually, I think I got it. Yeah, I think when I was up there for Thanksgiving, either that or I found it. One of my friends had it, possibly, but it's super hard to get. And I didn't know about this until Casey actually brought it to my attention because you just don't see it.
Yeah, I've never seen it in the wild, but Virginia sucks. So
yeah, I'll tell you what I'm drinking because I know we'll go into yours a lot more in depth. I am drinking High and Wicked. Let's see which way is this way. Have you guys had this? So it's a Kentucky sweet mash high rye out of Harrodsburg, Kentucky.
Yeah,
Harrodsburg. Okay, Kentucky. And this is a barrel pick. So it's 123. Yeah, it's pretty high proof because 61.7%. So that's 123, somewhere around there. This was one of those ones that I had to buy to get my wife's rye that she likes. I don't think it was too expensive, maybe $89 or something like that. But I actually liked it. Like I got to try it out. It's toasted. No, it says, what's it say? Aged in new white oak barrels. Okay, medium, toast, number 4 char, non-chill filtered. Some cloudiness may occur. Steels off copper columns and doubler. Aged and that's it. So it's really good.
Non-age stated, that one.
Non-age stated, no, but it does have a barrel number on it. It is a single barrel. I like it, man. It's. I didn't think I was gonna like it, and I just keep on. This is my second one.
I pulled it up quickly on Breaking Bourbon because I've never heard of it, and Harrodsburg is right outside of Lexington. I don't know why I've never heard of it before, but I have not. But it looks like it's Kentucky sourced, or at least it was in 2022. They have at least in their standard offering, which is what this is talking about, a 5-year age statement, which is kind of young, but Breaking Bourbon has really great things to say about it. So that's really cool. That one I should have known about, but I've never heard of, and it's good. So that's cool.
I mean, it's not hazmat, but it's definitely, it doesn't feel like a 122 proof. I think the first sip it does a little bit, but after that, well, I'll let you know by the end of this podcast how I'm feeling, so or you guys will be able to tell.
Yeah.
What are you drinking?
All right, so I pulled out a couple bottles of Ragged Branch. I don't know if I've talked about them on here before, but Ragged Branch is in Charlottesville, Virginia. They source everything kind of locally. They have like a butcher cows on the property as well. Beautiful old house that they have in the mountains of Charlottesville, overlooking kind of this really pretty valley with a barn and horses, or not horses, but cows, and it's really, really, really pretty. On the topic of bourbon, they have a few offerings. They do a wheater, they do a standard bourbon, they have a rye, and then just last year they did their first barrel proof, which is what I poured myself. They call it cowboy cut. But the barrel proof stuff, I think, is their best offering in the bourbon lineup. I think the wheat, as you can see, I've drank quite a bit of the wheat, so it's halfway decent stuff. Their regular bourbon, I didn't find to be that great. I thought their wheater was a little better. Cowboy cut, I think. So we all know, we talked about on the podcast how you proof down a bourbon, right? You add water, and I think it's really important. To understand that distilleries use different sources of water. So, in Kentucky, the water is very mineral rich. It's limestone water most of the time that is used to cut and create the mash and then cut the bourbon down. And I think those minerals have a very influential impact on the bourbon, which is why that part of the country is so bourbon dominant. When you compare it to bourbons in Virginia, to me, there's no technical reason why Virginia, in theory, could not do fantastic bourbon. The climate is not that much different. We have rolling hills here. We also have mountains here. We have the beach here, right? So you can have different climate, meaning in Kentucky, you get the rolling hills. You put one brick house on the top of the hill, one in the bottom. There's temperature differences. You could do that here as well. I think the difference here is water. And when
do you think they're using reverse osmosis water? Because I've noticed there's some distilleries that do that, and I agree with you 100%. You can taste the difference. I think it's a smoother. I think it's when they really proof it down to like a 90 or sub 100 proof. They use like that water, but it seems like other companies are cutting it with, like in Tennessee and in Kentucky and stuff like that. They're cutting it with, natural water, and to kind of keep that flavor. There's notes.
I do 100% have been on tours where they said they used reverse osmosis. I don't remember exactly what Ragged Branch said.
I think Angel's Envy actually does reverse osmosis. I think you're right,
which is, again, weird for a Kentucky product.
But they're in the city because they do all their stuff right there on Kentucky Road.
Right. When we went to, what is it called? Tarnished Truth down in Virginia Beach, they just use city water. And I'm sorry, but it's not good. And I asked about these things, and they kind of look at you funny because I think that you find on these tours that are not in Kentucky or not in bourbon places, the tours are really, really superficial, very low level, like entry level, I should say, like, because they're just getting local people. Oh, we're going to Virginia Beach. Let's stop at this distillery. And so the people putting on the tours didn't really have as much knowledge. But I will say that the stuff that is produced there, again, I don't think should be any different. Virginia has great corn. We grow wheat here. Like, I know that they could source it from anywhere, but we have fantastic stuff, grains here. But the one difference has got to be the water options. And I think that that's significant. Long picture or long story here to say, Ragged Branch, I think, is pretty good stuff. They do it. It's all local. And when it's not cut, specifically, I think their barrel proof stuff is drinkable. I think it's pretty good stuff.
And I definitely would like to hear, maybe, I know we don't have a huge following, but, on that subject about water and stuff, I would like to maybe deep dive into that and see because we all know New York style pizza or New York pizza in the city. They use the water. That's what makes that. We have a place in here where they literally brought everything, same source, same everything. They couldn't copy it, and then they ended up bringing actually the water from the city to make the pizza. It's called Eddie's New York style pizza, and I like our tap water here, and we live in Zephyr Hills, which is, and we have our bottling company here, and it's humongous in Florida and Georgia and stuff like that. So much so that Nestle bought it, and they buy all the other ones. But like, you guys ever? What's that water? Aquafina. Mm-hmm. It's reverse osmosis. It's terrible. Like, I can't drink it. I can't even imagine if bourbon was cut with, and even if you do reverse osmosis, or if you have hard water, that's going to change the taste of, even when you take a bath, Mm-hmm. So I'm wondering if in Virginia is that maybe they don't have a good source of spring water where they're at. So
yeah, and we know that bourbon just in general takes a lot of water to produce, right? Like, they, on the tours in Kentucky, they talk about needing water in Bardstown, where they're pulling their water from, etc. And so that very well may be the case. I mean, my piece of property has a spring on it, and it has fresh water. But who knows, how to find out, like, how that water source is not going to be that big, especially to the volume that you're going to need for making bourbon. But to your point, Kevin, I think that the local water makes a significant difference, in whatever minerals are in Kentucky, Indiana, Ohio, Tennessee water. That is significant and does influence the product. And when you see these other kind of distilleries around the country pop up, say Still Austin, say Widow Jane up in New York, or Finger Lakes Distillery, say Wyoming bourbon, obviously in Wyoming. What's out there in Vegas? High West. Mm-hmm. When we see these different distilleries that pop up that are having a lot of popularity or a lot of like interest, I would love to see some comparison of the water sources they're using and compare it to Kentucky water or limestone water.
I think it's very interesting.
See how big of an
I'm wondering, like, there has to be a source out there, right, that has done some research, right, and maybe like kind of talked about this. So I'm kind of going to deep dive on this myself and do some research. Sure, it's part of the recipe. Yeah,
but it also could be that these distilleries don't want to give up their secret sauce.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's just like tap water out of Kentucky, like, all right, that's easy to find out, right? But exactly, yeah.
Well, I also think too, from the tradition of bourbon in general, it started in Kentucky, and it's so. What we know as bourbon from the start of bourbon has been probably that same water source, those mountains. That's why they make the best moonshine. So what our palates are used to and what we gauge what we bourbon
expect,
yes, is from that source of water. Yeah, that's the standard. So I think also with the climate and I've been really trying to get into Tennessee bourbons. I don't know if you guys, Texas bourbons, because they are completely different. If you guys ever get to try some Garrison Brothers, there's ones in Austin. They are very spicy. You look at the mash bill, it's not adding spice. I know it has to do with the temperature for sure. Because it's definitely hot in there. So it's really soaking up a lot of that just oak flavor, and I think that's what I'm tasting. But I would agree. I think maybe it has to do something with the water too, because let's face it, I don't think Austin, Texas, and Texas in general, you don't think of fresh water, right?
Yeah. I'm curious, and I think I might even reach out to the Pursuit guy, Kenny, and see if he has an opinion or has a shtick on it. Because even they are now proofing their bourbons, right? They have an 88 proof, their standard offerings 108, and then they're doing barrel proof stuff. So they're obviously cutting their product. simple question would be to ask, like, well, what water are you using? Like, if that's something that they would discuss. And then, Ryan, which is more the taster behind the blending, if he's tried different water sources and if he can taste the difference. I think that'd be really, really interesting topic.
And I'm wondering too, if since they have moved, if their water source has changed, because now they're buying barrels from other places though, so they're not distilling their own stuff. But if they're cutting it,
then they are. They're cutting it in-house.
So were they cutting it when they were at the warehouse?
They're cutting it. We should clarify. They're not bottling in that Louisville location. They're still bottling at Bardstown. So
okay.
Whatever water source Bardstown uses is going to be their source.
Fair enough. So I have been reading or watching a lot of podcasts on some of these new bourbons that are coming out. Have you guys seen any? And while we're talking of them, there's one, I'll see if I can find it while we're talking on there's one in particular that's been very kind of high salt after. I'm trying to find it first.
It's a new brand.
Yeah.
It's interesting in this time of consolidation and things kind of shitting the bed.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's a new brand that maybe it's just new to me. So
while you're looking that up, so we don't have
specifically the litigation.
You have a good memory. Have we talked about Uncle Nearest on here and the litigation that's going on? Okay, well, let's while Kevin is searching, let's bring this topic up. So Uncle Nearest, which started not too long ago, right? They're a Tennessee whiskey. They hit the market kind of hot and heavy, a lot of marketing, a lot of online presence, pushed hard through bars, etc., kind of doing it old school method that way. Quite popular, in my opinion. I see it around a lot. George, do you see it? Have you ever had it? It's a African-American owned business. They really push that aspect. The story of Uncle Nearest, real person, real man that was producing bourbon down in Tennessee. I think the story is very cool and interesting. All that being said, the owner, her name is Vaughn Miller, I want to say. I could be wrong. First name is definite Vaughn. Very, I would say, outspoken on social media. They're having huge financial troubles. It looks like they've hid money, they've hid accounts, they've bought properties, they've bought cars, they've spent money they shouldn't have spent, they've lied to accountants. It's a huge fiasco. They're now, I believe, Chapter 7 bankruptcy, and they're going under very quickly. I think it's a sad story because it showed so much promise in the brand. I think like I said, the story is really cool and really good. The bourbon, I have 2 bottles in the closet. I thought the bourbon was pretty damn good. It's Tennessee whiskey and it has that kind of flair to it, meaning that it's like charcoal filtered. It's a little different, but I think it's good. And it's disappointing to see such a opportunity lost.
But that's just greed. That's all that is just greed.
Yeah, I think we did talk about I think I mentioned the barrel prices, but they were trying to liquidate, I think 24,000, 32,000 barrels, something like that. On their books, they had them for $13,000 a barrel, and they couldn't get $400 a barrel. So the companies, I think we talked about that in the market kind of declining, but the company's going under. At a rapid rate, lawsuits, et cetera, et cetera. She was supposed to be, or she was on Shark Tank. She recorded Shark Tank for investments and whatnot, and they closed down that episode or a series of episodes where she was an investor. It's kind of sad, and I think that it's a missed opportunity. I think it looks bad on kind of bourbon in general that kind of went down, but
Well, I can't find the post anyway, so.
So that was exciting, Kevin.
Yeah,
thank you for bringing that up.
I don't know why.
Boobs and Porsche parts. So and a lot of tattoos. I don't know why the tattoos are out there, but it's all back tattoos. So,
I've
no.
never seen that before.
So, speaking, you hit on a little bit the market of bourbon. So here, definitely, I know we touched base on it 2 weeks ago or a week ago. I'm starting to see a lot more stuff popping up. Are you guys starting to see that in an ABC state?
I did. I am. I had to go pick up a single barrel pick the other day, which again in Virginia is a huge thing when you have like a local Virginia club that does a single barrel pick. All the bottles got to be shipped to the ABC store. I got to go to the ABC store and pick it up. Anyhow, Ashley and I went at like 7:00 at night. Who knows when the product was dropped, but there was Eagle Rare on the shelf, which has not happened.
What year?
Standard, the standard stuff.
Yeah.
Which hasn't happened here in probably 6 years. There's Booker's on the shelf right now, which that has started to over the last year or so. Right now. I'll see one or two bottles up there.
We have Booker's at our Costco. I go there all the time. It's in both Costco's.
Yeah, that never has happened here. That's wild. That's wild. But Buffalo Trace is still not an option, surprisingly. But some of the things that I find good that I want to find on the shelf every time is now available. George, you were talking about the 1920. Like for a long time, that was MIA. Like you had to show up first thing in the morning to find that. But that's now on the shelf. I mentioned that there's Willet products now on the shelf.
Which I talked about. I think that
things
hurts
are coming around slowly.
When the big guys, right?
When we're obviously going to lag
big
far
hitters
behind,
are now
just
readily available. You choose those, right? Instead of trying something new.
And I also think too, and that's why I think a lot of these other smaller companies are going to either sell off their barrels or go out of business. Unless it's just a phenomenal, but most of it was marketing. So unless it's a phenomenal bourbon that they just did a great job. But if they're doing bourbon from Indiana or something like that, I mean, it's not like it's a secret recipe. So I do think, I mean, even Wild Turkey, I'm seeing the Triumph on the shelves now. And I'm also seeing secondary pricing drop by half. Now, I'm wondering, am I seeing it a lot more because Florida is a more populous state and we're not ABC control, therefore we are actually probably buying more of the bourbon, so more allocations are going to Florida, especially with like tourism, with bars, stuff like that, compared to Virginia or the great state of Ohio?
I think it's interesting how the companies do their allocations for different states. A lot of them will talk about being fair and they give same access across the board. I don't think that's true.
It's not true here in Florida. I mean, I talked to a lot of bar managers and it used to be, if you wanted a bottle of Pappy, you had to buy, 20 cases of Fireball. Yeah. Now that's all changing. No, it's legitimate. Like, I mean, you're walking to I've been to some shitty, and when I say some shitty stores, I've walked into, and it's ghetto. I'm talking like house slippers, and they're buying Fireball, and like, I mean, I don't think it's Mad Dog, but like cheap shit. But they have Pappy, and they have like, that's why I first bought that Midsummer Night Dream or whatever it's called that my wife likes. I mean, they had all this stuff there, and the guy was like, I started asking questions, and he was like, whoa. He like literally was like, okay, hey, get to these regular people. Yes, we have this. What else do you want?
Buy it.
And he was literally like, yeah, I have all this stuff because I buy so much shit. I mean, he didn't say shit, but he buys so much of the off-brand stuff, Crown, and like, I mean, the Apple stuff, the whatever it was. He's like, and then he goes, my cousin, if anything you want, he has this shitty store in the hood of Miami. He's got like 16 bottles of Pappy. I'm like, what? And he's like, yeah, like he's got all this stuff because they strong arm you. It's just like Porsche dealers. I mean, kind of like go full circle. You got to buy all this stuff to get, but he can't sell it, so he's sitting on it there. And then his cousin or his brother, who's in again Ocala, I think it is, another podunk town that just has nothing there. They can't sell it either, so they're just stuck with it. And then you have somebody like I roll in from St. Augustine coming back down to Tampa. I was like, hey, you got any of this stuff? And they're like, yes. Like, what do you want? I can get it. And I'm even seeing it here in Tampa. Like, I take pictures. I think I was taking pictures for you guys. And the guy's like, oh, what are you doing? Well, I'm just taking pictures, see what you have. And he's like, and I just walk out because I had dinner reservations next door at a Thai restaurant. And the guy's like, hey. We do cash discounts and multiple bottle discounts. Whatever you need. Like, I mean, he had some good stuff. I think I sent you the picture. I mean, they had Michter's green 10-year. They had, what's that one that I love? What's the one that I was trying to get? It's on the top of my head.
Holiday?
The heavy char that I tried to drink on our anniversary. Parker's. Parker's. Yeah, they had Parker's. Yeah. I mean, just like, and I'm like, what is all this stuff? I mean, it wasn't $800. It wasn't MSRP, but still, it was $400 a bottle. When, I mean, shit, last time I found a Parker's, it was $800. So I also think the economy here, at least in Florida, the economy's definitely an issue. People are buying needs, not wants. And let's face it, I mean, we don't need this. This is just a want. So
I don't think we're getting hit by the economy.
Is that like how it is? Do you think that has
to that level? I don't see any
effect on you guys' state?
I mean, obviously,
how about you, George? Because I mean, you live in the great state of Ohio.
The general inflation, right? Obviously, groceries, like everything, all the commodities, yes. But like, not to the point where I think it's affecting the liquor industry. I think what's affecting the liquor industry where I'm at is just capacity and availability is now there. And so then, right, all of the wanted stuff, right, that's been coveted and sought after for like several years is available. So then you're not trying the new stuff. And then the little guys are getting hurt, right? So that's what I'm seeing here. But, yep. Yeah, it's all state-owned. State controlled. Yep.
And you're an ABC state as well?
Well, I wanted to bring up a topic that I would say is, I think in the industry is a little controversial. And perhaps there's more companies doing this, and I'm trying to find the thread in which I read it. It was stated by Kenny of Pursuit, and I think it was in his own forum, talking about Woodford double oak barrel picks. Okay, so these have started to come out. I have one from our Virginia club here, and it's a Woodford double oak barrel
proof from the second
barrel proof,
not the original barrel.
On mine, I want to say it's 95%. It's very.
They put it in the second barrel,
right?
No,
which means they're cutting it when they put it into the second barrel. So is that actually barrel proof? And I agree with you. I think this is marketing bullshit. I think it's deceptive. I think it's wrong. And I don't know any other barrel proof pick, double oaked or otherwise, that I've ever received that has been near that ABV. I thought they would put it in, and they were just doing this as an experiment and putting it in super low, in their first aging process. But learning that they are cutting this in the second barrel, still calling it barrel proof, I think is wrong. I think it's, like I said, deceptive. I think it's a lie, and I think it is. I said going through bankruptcy is a black eye on the market. I think this certainly is too. I think it just looks bad. And all these companies, all these distilleries make up all these stories about their bourbon. We all know their bullshit, like their history. And Elijah Craig was the first guy that, ever distilled bourbon, and look at us, whatever. I put that in this. These are in the same basket of bullshit. And I think that's absolutely wrong.
With the decision.
God forbid, I will go to Woodford in the next couple of years, and I will go on their tour, and I will look at that poor tour guide and say, "Why the no?" And I will say, "Why the fuck do you all do this?"
To Woodford.
Give me some. Go get your boss down here, and I will ask him the same question because I think it's fucking wrong.
I mean, it's just,
air my grievances.
I mean, this is the same thing about, small batch. We all know that's just a marketing. But, I do think with the growth of bourbon, we do need to get, since it's grown so much, there needs to be some sort of standards. I mean, we've been on so many tours and they talk about how, they use the turpentine and this and spit and
beet
rags,
juice. Yeah.
beet juice, right?
Yep.
And so why aren't they now? I think that needs to be the next step. Stop playing on words.
I agree. And when you have a scenario like this, which is going to get traction, whether it, I think George, like, I read this stuff. I'm interested in this. But if this were to hit mass market where there is confusion, and that's when the government, the TTB will step in, right? When there's confusion and misunderstanding about what a product actually is, that's where it's going to hurt. And it's going to hurt the market overall because it's going to invite more eyeballs. And more eyeballs is not necessarily a good thing. I think sun exposes all things, and that is good. And I like the transparency. But when you get into the nitty gritty, that when the TTB gets in, they start looking at advertising and like what's the label.
Well, they've already done it with tequila, so why haven't they done it with bourbon? Because tequila just got popped.
Right.
Like some of the,
in the process of, right? We talked about that Don Julio, Casamigos.
Yep.
Yeah. Right. Because they say it's 100% blue agave, but then when they do the science behind it, it's 40% blue agave. Whatever.
But I think that's why they got popped, because they are straight lying about the recipe. Whereas with bourbon, the recipe's still there, but they're playing on words with small batch. Or okay, what's small? Small could be, for Buffalo Trace, small can be, I don't know, 100,000 bottles. Small for a small brand can be, I don't know, 200 bottles.
2 barrels, right?
Yes, 2 barrels, right?
220 bottles.
Right. Same thing when we talked about water. Same thing we talked about, like you just said, the double oak, cutting it again. Are we just dissecting it like a coffee drinker dissects, certain beans and grinds? Yes, I think we are.
Yes.
But I think that's because we're really involved into bourbon. And
but the label exists for a reason, and words matter. And when you put a phrase on the label, you should understand what that means. To your exact point, Kevin.
To a layman's term, right?
Correct. Yeah. So that any Joe Blow can come in and Google, what does straight bourbon mean? Right.
But I think because there's so many bourbons, a marketing guy is looking at any little way that they can get their
100%
stuff out. And until 100%. The government steps in and says, hey, that's illegal.
I fucking hate the government. I don't. Yeah. I think.
I don't think it's out of control.
But isn't alcohol beverage control? Isn't that the government?
But I don't think it will.
Yeah, TTB's government. But I think bourbon has a good self-regulating kind of program.
Well, and I agree with you, George. I don't think it's going to right now neither, because now I think with the bourbon industry kind of dying and the surplus of bourbon, I think all of that shit, 2 years ago when there's so many things, everyone's looking for that little edge.
You have the proof, right?
Now that it's kind of just going down, I think that will all kind of wash itself away. Yes. I agree.
Because we need some motherfucker to go buy this bottle.
So what?
No, but you can be like, you're right.
The proof's on the label.
Right? I mean,
is there
you
any
have to have
other
some knowledge.
wording language on there besides?
But you say barrel proof, right? You immediately look for the higher proof, right? And it's relative to everything out there, right? It's not rocket science to compare it, right? And you got about
Well,
there are standards and rules. Like you can only
But I'm
actually
wondering if
barrel
has
something,
anybody
right?
ever been
Like at a
popped for
certain
that?
proof.
Like,
Like there are
showing your
standards
proof?
out
I mean,
there,
we
right?
all
With
don't have
bourbon
like
already,
whatever it's called to test alcohol
right?
content.
It's not the Wild Wild West.
125 is the highest proof you can barrel. Yeah. No, I completely agree that when you are creating a bourbon, there's lots of guardrails and well-deserved guardrails, but guardrails on what can be done. And they have inspections and they have to do all that shit. And I completely agree that that is good. What I don't like is the play on words in these specialty product segments, which are the double barrels or the cognac cask and cigar blend, and what the fuck does that mean? It doesn't mean anything. It's just a different barreling that you put a name on. So
and I don't think that should be called a bourbon.
I
Some
certainly
people
agree with that.
And some people are getting away with that. That should be called a whiskey.
I agree with
But
that.
but their word.
I mean, okay,
It says a
we
bourbon
will look
finished
at Angel's Envy. They call themselves a
As-
bourbon.
That I agree 100%. It's a
That
whiskey.
is
But it's a bourbon
whiskey.
before they finished it.
100%. But technically, it's not a bourbon because it's not new.
Right.
Yeah.
I think while I think if you have to know what you're reading when you read it, I do think that their language on their bottle is correct. It's a bourbon finished, blah blah blah, whatever.
I was
I think that's fine. And if
Woodford, I like double oaked. I like
if
double
Woodford
oaked.
said,
and when I saw that, I'm like, come on, you guys are better than this.
I don't know how to label it or how to name it without.
I do, yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful distillery too.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys do like Woodford, huh?
Yeah, I think it's a good product. Yeah. It is good bourbon balls they make there too. The thing that it kind of reminded me of, and again, I don't know if it will hit mainstream, if this will matter mainstream, or it just matters to bourbon geeks, or maybe it just matters to me. But like when when Maker's Mark came out and they said we're going to proof down our flagship standard Maker's Mark, they were going to drop it like 4 points, and they said we're going to do this in order to continue to have enough product on the shelf, and people went nuts about it, right? Like it blew up. Could this spur that sort of response?
And I think that's because the
in the
product
last
is
week
actually
that
the same.
I read this.
The product is the same as what it was in general. They just
so
there's some
I'm
new
gonna say
marketing
it's
words
not
on there.
going to.
So it's kind of like, okay,
maybe because
like, I'm
it's not
annoyed
a
at you
flagship
putting
product.
that with those words on there, but the product is still good and it's what it is, right? They didn't change it's still the same Jesus kind of would say. I'm getting a lot on my side. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah. Oh, and there goes George.
I was wondering if he was using his hotspot for his Wi-Fi because he was clicking in and out.
Yeah.
But
and then there was two.
Have you picked up any new bottles?
I honestly, the Willet Rye I picked up last week, which I talked about, which I've thoroughly enjoyed. I haven't been back to the store. I've been busy dealing with dog stuff or whatever. But I'm hoping I'll go back and be able to pick up a Noah's Mill and a Rowan's Creek, because again, those are new Willet products here in Virginia, which I've tried elsewhere, but happy that they're here and I will support them. But outside of that, no, I haven't. And
so I have been actually drinking along with my wife a lot of ryes, and
good man.
I'm actually like really training my palate, and I'm noticing that, man, I'm starting to like them. Like, it wasn't even a year ago that I was like, disgusting. I want high weeded, right?
Mm-hmm.
And, I used to smoke cigars a lot. Like every day I had a cigar with my father, while my daughter was, a baby. I'd pick up my daughter from my parents and have a cigar with my dad, and then, and then go home. But
hey, George,
did you get off that Android Wi-Fi hotspot?
What was the last thing you heard of me? I went on a little bit of a rant on myself.
We don't even know. So where we're at now is we're talking about like, now I'm enjoying ryes and how my palate has definitely changed within not even what is it, 8 months now, I think, Casey. So June was my anniversary, and I was literally like, yuck, yuck. And my wife was like, oh, I like these ryes. And I was like, this is disgusting. And Casey's the one that pointed out to me, like, oh, you're a high wheat. You like high wheat. Because I was like, oh, this one. I love this one. Now with my wife, I've been drinking a lot of her ryes. Now, granted, they're not cheap shit, but I'm actually finding out that rye has a sweeter taste to it. And my palate has totally changed. And I was telling him about cigars. When I used to smoke cigars, it was like, Churchill. And then I started smoking like Maduros, and then like really, really full body. But I think do you guys think a rye is a sweeter, or do you think it's a stronger, or what's the flavor that you guys are getting from a rye? Because it does have a unique taste to it.
To me, I look for the ryes that have a almost like a bourbon smell with extra spice. And then the ones I fall in love with will have spice with a spearmint, like that wintergreen hit.
Not tasted any of that, and any of my ryes that I'm
telling you, when I get that like spearmint, minty fresh hit, I love that. And so that's what I look for, because I fell in love with that with it was a Bourbon Pursuit single barrel pick. And I was like, holy shit, this is good stuff. But I think in general for me, ryes are a little bit spicier. They've got, different notes, still have to me that kind of classic profile with some extra spice.
How about you, George? Because how I taste this, it's a lot sweeter. But I don't drink anything under lately. I mean, everything I'm drinking is like 120, 130, 100. Like I'm not drinking, 90 proof stuff. So
it's interesting that you're picking up sweetness out of a proof that
I get more.
No, I'm saying out of bourbon I drink that. So then when I drink a rye, they're not 100s. They're still like teens in the teens.
That's probably why you pick up sweetness.
Because it's such a lower ABV?
Yes.
George?
I was trying to understand your guys' comparison there, right? But for me, the ryes are spicier.
So, you think they're spicier too? Yeah. Like spicier.
And not always just because of like ABV, actually, because I like barrel proof and higher ABV bourbons, right? So it's not like a strength. It's just a different profile. And a lot of times they're shorter in taste to me also, right? Where like bourbons I'll have, and it's kind of complex, right? There'll be a front side and a back side. Rye, a lot of times it's kind of like a bite of spiciness, and then it's short. But I mean, that's just my experience. But I haven't gotten deep into ryes. But I also prefer.
So I'm gonna have my wife actually bring me one of her favorite, and I'm gonna taste it because I've just been drinking this 120.
I prefer my old fashions.
So see if she.
So I know Casey's talked about that before, but that's where I lean into a rye. Is when I'm making a cocktail, because I like that spiciness in my cocktail. Now I don't get spearmint, but I do get a different spiciness, and I like that rye flavor in the cocktail.
So tell me, which one have you had that has that spearmint taste?
This Willet bottle that I have now has a bit of it.
Was that Green Top?
This is Green Top, just our 4-year rye. I think it's really good, and it has a bit of that wintergreen in it. I think that, George, to your point, the 95.5 ryes that are so popular, most of the ryes out there are Indiana, NGP ryes, which are 95.5. I agree 100% that their flavor profiles are more straightforward and basic. You get a nice pop of the spice, and then it goes away. And I think that's because it's just rye and malt, right? Like it's just so basic. You don't have as much interaction. But I think on some of the other ones that are kind of coming out now that the bourbon rye kind of brought up the rye as well, that you can get some different flavor profiles, specifically like the Willets. What other good ryes out there? Pikesville. I really like Pikesville. Dad's Hat rye out of Pennsylvania. Even the Knob Creek rye, I think, is pretty decent.
Wild
stuff.
Turkey Rare Breed. That rye is good.
Yes.
I mean, that in itself, just the Rare Breed line
is both the bourbon and the rye are good stuff.
Yeah. And that I will tell you guys too. I mean, for our limited listeners, if you guys find that, and it's not hard to find in Florida, but every time I was that a duck? Every time
it was the duck coming out of here.
Every time I pick up that. Every time I pick up that rare breed and put it on the counter, like every single time, no matter who it is, somebody will be like, and it's usually like bottom shelf or like mid bottom shelf. They'll go, "Oh yeah, this is like one of my favorites," and I'm like, "You know your stuff." Like, "Oh cool," and they're always like, "Wow, we don't sell a lot of this. This is so good." I'm like, "Yeah." So I just asked my wife to bring me a bottle of rye, and she's like, "We don't have any more." I'm like, "What about this? What about this? What about this?" And she's like, "Nope, hold on, nope." She goes, "I got a signed bottle." I'm like, "No, I don't want to open that one up." I'm like, "Yeah, are you sure we don't have anything?" And she's like, "No, Kevin, we don't." So I've literally have ramped up my alcohol intake, partially because like I had my hip, so I didn't have anything to do, and just my stress level has been. And my wife, like, literally, oh, here she comes. Let's see what she's bringing in.
This bullshit. It's the first time we've heard her voice on this podcast.
They said, "Hello, you want to come around here?"
No.
Oh, okay.
Hello.
So, this is a barrel pick.
That bottle is great.
This? Yes. So, this is a barrel pick from my buddy. This is a super high proof, too. This is 133.8. Jack Daniels.
Those single barrels are really, really good, though.
Yes. My buddy, he actually did a whole barrel pick. I think we got, oh yeah, here, it's a little huck. My wife does not like this, but this is a Tennessee whiskey. So, and I'm not going to open this up because this is part of my little collection. I've been trying to collect all the colors, kind of like, I think she just
always got to collect something.
Always. But let's see what this one, and I know it's not, I mean, let's face it, it's all the same juice, right?
It's Jack Daniels. But I do think that is a great rye whiskey. I think it's really good. And it's on the shelf most places. Like that, you can find it.
All of the single, I mean, you guys know I love Jack. So, I mean, that guy never did me wrong. So, we're like this.
You guys have me curious. I want to go, just browse my bar for ryes right now.
You should. I mean, just go ahead and pull one up while you're. So, right off the rip, I smell sweet. Like it's sweet.
I would like next time maybe you bring that same glass out and you drink that first and give us your impression of that before drinking your 130 bourbon.
It says rye down there.
Another part of my collection. What does it say rye?
The bottom. It says corn, rye, wheat.
No, this is a barrel. This is a barrel champagne.
Oh yeah, I have that bottle. Yeah.
This was part of the on the little.
Yeah.
This was underneath the can.
Underneath, so that's good. You should open that one.
Are you sure, honey?
Do I have this laying out there? I have one.
Yes, the one up top is signed.
Can you give me another,
yes.
Karen? Okay. So, this, I mean,
I think it's wild that the first thing you're getting is sweetness off of rye.
So, this, I do taste spice.
Yeah, with this, cooking spice.
Yes.
Baking spice, that sort of thing.
Yes, I do taste that for sure. Thank you. Oh.
All right, so Michter's, I don't know what to think about it, but one of my favorite ryes is Michter's. Michter's makes a good rye.
Okay.
And then, here you go.
I don't know if we have that.
So I think everyone's familiar, obviously, with Bullet, but here's a 12-year rye from Bullet.
Put
which is, that's an MGP. That's a 95.5 MGP product, which I think it's good, George. I have a bottle of it here. I think it's good as well. Not knocking it. And again, MGP produces most of the rye out there.
It's Dayton, Ohio product.
Oops. Hold on. My computer might be dying here because I just spilled a fucking bottle of bourbon.
We'll talk while you clean that up. So this is like Belle of Dayton, right? Dayton, Ohio, right here. They have other good stuff. They've won recent.
All right, boys, he's cut off. You guys all have to go home now. They've
won recent awards. And actually, Aaron and Kevin, when you guys were in town, we went to their bar that they have. But yeah, this is good. This is a straight rye whiskey, 104 proof.
Nice. And where is it produced?
Dayton, Ohio.
In Dayton. Very cool. Yep. Very cool. Kevin can't type on his computer because it's underwater. Or under bourbon.
It's under bourbon. Okay, I got you guys here. Let me see how. Okay, boom. Okay.
Yeah, and I see you splitting
I spilled probably about 4 ounces of bourbon all over my computer.
Kevin's sporting the foreign T-shirt, and Casey with the Topoco, the hat with you guys.
That was not planned.
Okay, so we got this. You can take all that away because
this is quite the ending.
And I'm the only one that signed up for the drive. No. You know what event we need to go to, guys? Portia Platica.
Where is
it's
that?
In Knoxville, Tennessee. May 3rd.
When?
Hey, what's that proof of that?
May 3rd. I think
we have talked about it.
This.
I brought it up to you guys. I've texted you guys about it too. I'm trying to make this happen.
So what is it?
Portia Platica.
Oh. So this Bardstown,
I'm putting it on
this Bardstown rye.
Do it.
What do you think it is?
110 proof.
96.
Kevin's
God.
Hey, don't talk shit now that you know what it is. You did like
it. So this is 96 proof Bardstown. I can automatically super sweet. I smell. Take that away. It tastes like water.
Matt's gonna have fun.
So wait.
His palate is burned.
Okay, so I will tell you, I do taste Christmassy kind of taste to it, but it's weak.
It's weak because you've been drinking 130 proof bourbon.
Clearly, you can tell Matt. Kevin just spilled liquor all over his computer.
And you're telling him right now.
It's pretty. Like, taste this one.
I like that he's doing his own little tasting right here.
Aaron, come over here.
She wrenches.
You look fine.
That's not going to get her in front of the camera, Kevin. There she is. I see Shadow.
You look fine. I promise.
What do you want to do? You just go right here.
Hey. All right.
I can't see or I can't hear anything.
Move Kevin out of his chair and sit and replace him.
They tell me just to move me out of the seat and you can replace me.
Well, you know, if we weren't recording.
We're still recording, yeah.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So when I'm drinking this high proof and I drink that, whatever it is, 90 something, it's super, super light. Like, so again, I think that's part of the thing. You drink a high proof, and Casey, we've talked about this before too, right? You typically start out with like your first sip's always going to be like, and then the bourbon gets better as you start drinking it because you
got to acclimate your palate. Yeah.
Yes.
And that's why I typically will have a mixed drink, right? And you've talked about that. Oh, do you drink nothing but old fashions? Well, no. It's just that to me is a good starting point to open up my palate to bourbon, and then the next drink after that, I feel like I can taste more of what's going on.
But you never do that on the show. You drink.
That's because it's Wednesday and I have to be at work at 7:30 in the morning.
I mean, that sounds like an excuse to me. So, George, talk about this as I spilt my thing. What are we talking about for this drive here?
So it's not a drive rally. It's actually kind of like a show.
Oh, that's
that. I want to make it like a week-long weekend with you guys and do like our own drive like the day before or the day after the show, and then do the show right the day of, right? It's like it's in
Where is it?
Knoxville, Tennessee, and it's down in a marble quarry. And they're featuring, they featured, I believe it was last year, they featured the Carrera GT, and this year they featuring the 911R. So, I mean, it's a high-end quality show.
So when you say they feature, that means they have one Carrera GT there, or they have a lot of legit. GTs
so this is put on by like
George.
No. This is Knoxville, Tennessee, put on by Harper Porsche, right? So I mean, this is good stuff.
In this single picture they have on the Platica website, there's 20 plus GTs. Like there's enough.
So, is it as big as Luft or not?
I don't think I mean, this is only, I think, the third year, right? So it's just getting started.
Okay.
And fuck Luft. We've been there.
No, I'm not.
Move on to the next.
I love Luft, so I'm not going to say that about Luft, right? Let's do both.
Hey, I'm looking. I'm looking for the next thing. So It's
May
in May.
3rd is that Sunday.
May 3rd.
So I'm thinking about making it just like a long weekend. Right? The show is on that Sunday. Let's do it.
Let's talk about it.
I
I'm
mean, I'm game.
open to it.
I got a fresh hit, but I'm ready to drive.
Let's do it.
Yeah. I mean, plus I've been banned from other rallies, so fuck it.
You've been banned from rallies. I need to hear more about this.
Yeah, I'll talk to you about that off.
Oh no!
So
I will make it public eventually when we call them out for being shitheads.
No.
Yeah, but so yeah, I think I can. I'll take a look at the dates, and we can probably.
Well, the date's May 3rd, so take a look at that date.
Well, I'll take a look at my
as long as we stay together till Cinco de Mayo on the 5th, that Tuesday, we can do that.
He won't be able to do that.
Who won't?
I mean, I can do it. I mean, you have one Mexican with you.
If that's what we want to do, I can make it happen. But yeah, let's
two
play
Mexicans and me.
So you're doing Farron,
yes,
right? Because I know you weren't able to go because you had your surgery.
And I'm really looking forward to it. And I'm going to miss you guys, and I want you guys still to go.
So most of us only have so much time, and
cars. Some of us don't have car to drive.
You do have cars. I mean, you can drive Ashley's car, but
I could.
The other thing too is like with me, I only have so much. I'm not fortunate like James that I have abundant of time. I run my own business, so every time that I step out, I'm still like freaking the fuck out that I'm not. And I have 3 businesses that I'm trying to like, okay. So imagine having 3 businesses that you're not there. Like to me, I think the business is going to like explode when I'm not there. So, shit, I was supposed to see Casey. When was that? I don't know. Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was. So I definitely have to fly somewhere because I'm going to lose out on my my stuff. Me and Aaron were just talking about doing Ohio again after we showed you that video of the Skyline Chili. Which, how far away is Cincinnati from you? An hour?
Well, but the airport's actually in northern Kentucky, so it's a little bit further. It's an hour and a half from my house. The airport is.
Okay. No, we fly into shit town.
Oh my goodness,
and
unbelievable!
Drive down with you.
You know what? You do whatever you want, Kevin.
Maybe I'll have a car back.
I actually like Dayton. Like I think it's such a cool town. Like it is. Like the architectural like of downtown. Like there's like I hate to say there's nothing. It's not now. I know I was there on the weekend, but I would expect a city as old and as historic as Dayton, Ohio, to be a booming town on a Saturday, but it's dead. But you still look at all the architectural, you look at all the stuff, and you're like, wow, this is a town from the Industrial Revolution. Like, so I highly suggest that you go there. I've been to Cincinnati so many times, but yeah, it's definitely now you don't live in the city, you live in the suburbs, but yeah, even the hotel that we stayed in, I was like,
I'm 15 minutes north of downtown, so I'm not like 45 minutes to an hour. I'm 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So are there tickets to this event that you have to purchase?
They go on sale.
I was just going to say that we're a couple weeks out.
So it's like one of those. Do they sell out?
I haven't been yet. I mean, I just honestly heard about it. I wish I would have gone to the Courage GT one because I love that car. But I just heard about it when Shannon Harper's been on a couple podcasts. So that's when I really got the awareness.
Oh, you listen to other podcasts?
I listen to a lot of podcasts. I drive a lot. Maybe not as much as Casey, but I'm putting in a good amount of miles.
Okay. Yeah. We'll talk about that and maybe playing something. So, I mean, it starts getting hot over here. So anytime I can maybe drive an air cooled up there, that'd be good. Any of you guys playing? Well, I know you're not going to play in George, but Amelia.
Yeah, I wish.
I'm not coming.
Kevin, I only have so much time. I can't do all the events in the year.
I was waiting for that. Well, this was, I think, we're over an hour, so this was pretty much our bourbon talk
for this week.
I know. Yep. So, if you guys have any insight on the water thing, I would love to hear from you guys. Go to our website. Nobody goes to it anyways. Who we fool in, but put us a DM, drop a DM, and
text message.
Yes, DM the podcast website.
Goodbye.
What's a podcast?
So see you guys later. Bye.
And then George